Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer video. It seems the stars are blessing us today, as we've received not one but two hints. The fourth clip is playing on screen right now, and it seems that he is increasingly worried, possibly staying constantly at work in an effort to find a sign of salvation perhaps. And now we are treated to another constellation, that of Ursun. Ursun is the Great Bear, the god of bears and strength, and the patron deity of Kislev. And it seems our celestial friend may have had hope with the following quote. "By the light of Azurius, is this the answer to my plea, a glimmer of hope? Do we find salvation in the jaws of the bear god himself, Ursun? Are your people our saviors or our end?" So this time we see a hint towards Kislev. Kislev themselves have always been a shining light, the first bastion of defense against the forces of chaos. Why the wizard is doubting the resolve of the Kislevites is beyond me. Yes, they have failed in certain invasions where they have been defeated, but in the grand scale of Warhammer fantasy lore, they have never turned to the forces of chaos. Sure, a warrior or two might have fallen, but nothing too drastic. It must be linked towards fear. The wizard, of course, has been seeing signs pointing to the chaos gods, and now Ursun joins them in the sky. As a Warhammer fantasy fan of the lore and the tabletop for many years, I myself can interpret this as Ursun preparing for war, possibly to stand with the other races of the Warhammer fantasy world and fight back the seemingly endless hordes of chaos. I'm interpreting all this for Total War Warhammer 3, of course, that we might get 4 different chaos factions, and obviously now Kislev. This makes complete sense to me in all honesty. If it's the case that we're going for a full end times route, which is looking increasingly possible, then it only makes sense for the forces of chaos to first fight against the forces of Kislev. Like I said, the realms of the Ice Queen are the first line of defense. In every story where every Everchosen has invaded, they've always gone through Kislev first. I'm not sure how this is going to affect Total War Warhammer 3's map, but this is really interesting. Kislev are of course one of the few remaining Order factions yet to be implemented into Total War Warhammer. The Dogs of War, also known as the Southern Realms, can be considered neutral at best, so given all the remaining races in the Warhammer franchise, it only makes sense for Kislev to be included in the base game for Total War Warhammer 3. We are aware that the more human-like factions, or humans themselves, are the most popular for the player base at the beginning of a game's launch. And let's be honest, with all the other races that were missing, we really weren't missing any other human ones. Again, yes, the Dogs of War, but the Dogs of War are neutral, so there's a bit of a difference there. Now, there is something further to discuss here. We're finally aware what day of the year it is, and it is a really dark day. Geheimisnacht Eve. Apologies for the butchered pronunciation to my German-speaking friends. This does have a lot of significance, for the day of Geheimisnacht is a dark day in the Warhammer Fantasy universe. For this is a dark day in the Warhammer Fantasy universe, where the moon Morsleib is full. Many of the races of the Warhammer Fantasy world have rituals or traditions that are kept this day, all in the sense of protection. Let's read this excerpt on Geheimisnacht itself. On this night, sensible folk lock their doors and bar their windows, but for the followers of the dark gods, this is a night of celebration. Morsleib is accursed, a moon formed from material cast into the skies when chaos first burst upon the world. Its proximity strengthens the winds of magic, weakening the borders between reality and the realms of chaos. On Geheimisnacht, small rifts become large, and large become immense, allowing thousands of demons to walk the mortal world for one night of mayhem and destruction. Morsleib's chaotic orbit means that Geheimisnacht never falls upon the same night in subsequent years, but mortal folk take care never to be surprised by its onset. Defenses are strengthened on this, the unholiest of nights. with special care given to those places rumoured to hold favour of the dark gods. This is a time when demons are arise in all of the Warhammer fantasy universe, and it is a dark time indeed. Yet from all the teasers that have been shown so far, I don't believe that the 4 signs of the Chaos Gods have been showing to lead to Geheimnisnacht. This has been something that happens on a yearly basis. You would be worried, of course, because demons and so on would be out there doing as much damage as possible, but it seems that he was surprised by the 4 signs in the sky, and then now with the sign of Urson. Again, I believe this is pushing towards the end times. It makes so much sense to me as a fan of the Warhammer Fantasy universe. It's also heavily hinted upon in the tone of voice by the Celestial Wizard. There is fear there which is not common. It's not a yearly fear. Yes, I am completely aware that people aren't too interested in the idea of the end times, but it looks like this might be the perfect way to end the Total War Warhammer series. Of course, time will tell, but I'll have the clip playing as soon as I finish talking, and let me know what you think about this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and let's start a bit of a discussion.
This cannot be the end I fear. The High Priest will receive my word soon enough and darken my door afterwards. When I am cowering in his shadow, I shall need a spark to light the black. Only a glimmer. Only if I am allowed it. A minuscule token of hope. It is the heavens that stole my resolve. It will be the heavens that return it. By the light of Azurios. Is this the answer to my plea? A glimmer of hope? Do we find salvation in the jaws of the God-bearer himself? Oh, Urson, are your people our saviors? Or our end? And all this on Geheimnisnacht Eve. Dark times linger on the horizon, I fear, and the Empire must be prepared. Something evil approaches, and it arrives tomorrow.
But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince, and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman, and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing, and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel has been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.